What up? What up, people? Hmm. Oh, what's going down? What's going down? What's going down, man? What's up with you all? Just hanging? Just hanging. Just thought I'd jump on here for a little bit and see what's what. How you guys were doing? Is Najee going to be back with the Steelers next year? He might be. Um, it depends on for how much. $6 or $7 million, I'd take Najee back. But if he wants $9, $10 million a year, we can find $9, $10 million a year to spend other places. I wouldn't. Like I said, I like Najee. I think Najee's great, but I'm not willing to give Najee $9 or $10 million. I'm just not. We can go find another Najee for less money. For less money. I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing? How big y'all think this game is against Cleveland on Sunday? I think it's huge. I personally think this game is gigantic. What the Steelers have on Sunday. Man, how'd I like the Hard Knocks? I mean, I'm going to get into that on our podcast tonight. So I'll save it for there. I don't think we learned a whole lot, but I'll save it for that. So, yeah, Dylan, I'm in your boat, Dylan. I think Sunday is a must-win football game. You can't get swept by the Cleveland Browns. Not if you're trying to be taken seriously. Yeah, if you're trying to be taken seriously, you can't get swept by the Browns. And we let one get away in Cleveland. We didn't play at all or do much of anything in the first half. And then when we did get the lead, we had the ball with 5 minutes to go, and we gave the game away. So yeah, you can't get swept by Cleveland and you want to be taken seriously. You just can't do that. So I think we got to go win this football game. Again, it's crazy to say that this is a must. You're leading your division. You're playing Cleveland with 5 games to go. And it's crazy to be saying that this is a must-win game. Well, I'm sorry. I think it's a must-win game. I think the Steelers have to win this football game. They do. They do. I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people may not agree with that. But I think Steelers got to win. Yeah, I think they got to win. They can't afford to get swept by Cleveland and then say that we're serious Super Bowl contenders. Because I mean, to be honest, would you believe that? Let's just flip it around. Let's just say the Ravens had the record that we had, but they get swept by Cleveland. Would you say the Ravens were Super Bowl contenders? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't take them seriously. So, I would just like I would. I wouldn't take them seriously either. So, what's the deal with Mike Williams? Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this Mike Williams thing. I thought he'd be worked into the offense a hell of a lot more by now. But it turns out he is not. So, yeah, I thought he'd be in the mix, but he is not in the mix. Not only is he not in the mix, I mean, it doesn't sound like that he's even really being taken seriously at this point in time. You know, he's starting the game, but they're not even looking his way. Now, maybe that's partly him. He's not getting open, and Russell Wilson's like, man, I can't throw you the ball when you're not getting open. But my thing is, you traded for Mike Williams. Maybe you should go out of your way to put in some routes that he's comfortable with. Now, granted, all the routes just can't be go routes. You know, Mike Williams got to be able to run a dig route, a quick slant, stuff like that. He's got to be able to do those things. But if he can't, he can't, and it is what it is. But they got to start using his skill set. They really do. Man, Mean Green, I think I am through it. Look, I got the drain taken out of the outside of my face. I got the drain taken out of the inside. So I'm talking better. I'm able to open my mouth a lot wider. So, yeah. And I don't have pain. That's the main thing. I don't have pain because it was killing me. Lord have mercy. So, yeah, I appreciate it, man. I feel and I was starting to feel bad. You know what I'm saying? When you start to feel bad? Yeah, I was starting to feel bad. So, I got to get it back on the track here. So we're feeling good. Wayne Brown says must win for the Steelers. I agree. Again, it's weird to say that when you're playing a last place team. You got 5 games to go. You're leading your division, and you're talking about this is a must-win game. Yeah, hey man, it is. If you want to be taken seriously, and we consider ourselves a Super Bowl contender, you can't get swept by Cleveland. You can't. You just can't. Now, maybe that's putting a lot of pressure on team, putting a lot of pressure on them to win games. But you know what? Pressure is part of every job. And their job is to play football, so there's pressure involved, man. Got to win. Got to win. Will Justin Fields be back next year due to us having a playoff record? I don't think that has anything to do with him coming back or not. I would say Justin Fields, I don't know if he'll come back or not. Did he do enough in those first 6 games for somebody out there to say, hey, we want Justin Fields to be our starter? I would say no. And the reason that I would say no, because if he had done enough, he'd be the Steelers starter. That's all I'm saying. I mean, our team's desperate enough to say, okay, Fields, you did enough in those first 6 games. We want you to come in and be our starting quarterback. I don't know. And maybe Justin Fields should look at it. You know what? If I got to sit here for a couple of years under Russell Wilson and just continue to get better, then maybe that's what I need to do. Sometimes you got to sit and watch before you go out and play. Quarterbacks used to do that all the time. It used to be your quarterback wasn't playing between at least 2 years they didn't play. At least. Now all of a sudden, because some have super success early, they think everybody has to do that. Look, if the best quarterback in the game had to sit a year, why can't everybody else? Patrick Mahomes sat a year. And I get it. Alex Smith was the starter. But you're going to tell me Patrick Mahomes was more talented than Alex Smith? Of course he was. But he needed to sit and watch what was going on. Sometimes you just got to sit, you know. Sometimes you just got to sit and watch what's going on. And I think for Justin Fields, I think this is a good opportunity for him. And not to mention, he's young. It's not like he's 30 years old. What is he, 25? Your career's not over. Look at Geno Smith. Geno Smith sat like 6 years. And look what he's doing. So it can be done. It can be done. So, do you know if Alex Highsmith will play on Sunday? Mike Tomlin basically came out and said, yeah. I mean, he did everything but say, yes, he's guaranteed to play. He just said, I fully expect Alex Highsmith to be back on Sunday. That's what he said. So, I would say, yeah. I would say he's playing. And you're right. He's a huge addition. For depth, number one, just for the depth standpoint. Number two, he's also really good. You know, people are so fast to try to replace him with Nick Herbig. And I keep saying, I'm like, look, man, I love what Herbig does. But Alex Highsmith is a million times better against the run than Nick Herbig is right now. He just is. You know, he's a bigger guy, and he's just as quick as Herbig. So he's a million times better than Herbig against the run. That's not a knock against Herbig. That's just a testament to how good Alex Highsmith is. So, we'll see. Will Patterson be back? Like Cordero Patterson? I mean, let's just get through the season, bro, before we start worrying about next year. I mean, we got 5 games left, and we're battling for the division. I'll be quite honest with you. Who gives a damn about next year? Let's battle this year and worry about that. We can worry about next year when it's time to worry about next year. Now ain't the time, my man Dylan. I appreciate what you're saying, though, but now ain't the time to worry about next year, man. Let's try to win a Super Bowl. That's what I would say. I mean, there's plenty of time to go into next year. We'll have a whole off season. So, love the new show. Big G, yeah, man. Me and Big G, it seems like it's working out. It seems like it's working out. So, I appreciate it. I like that he took the time, man. So, it seems like it's working out. I have a lot of fun with Big G, man. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. He loves the Steelers. So it's fun. It is fun. What else y'all got, man? How big is this game? So, mm-mm-mm. My system was screwed up there. Yeah, I feel pretty optimistic about the team too, man. I do. So, I feel pretty optimistic about it. Is Russ deserving of a new deal? I mean, at this point, if the season ended, why wouldn't he be? I feel it's an absolute must win. Plus, we have to make a statement winning. I don't know if we even need to make a statement winning, John. I really don't think that we do. I know what you're saying, but just go win the game. I don't think we have to blow out the Cleveland Browns. I don't think we have to do that. But I think if we just go beat them, I think it's a must win, though. Can we beat the Eagles, Chiefs, and Ravens? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, plus those games are all in 10 days, aren't they? Isn't the Eagles? It's the Raiders. I think it's the Eagles, Ravens, and then the Chiefs. Aren't all those 3 of those games within 10 days of each other? Which is insane to think about. So, it's tough. It's tough. Here's the thing. I think the Steelers are going to beat the Chiefs. That's number one. The game's at home. What the Chiefs don't do well, the Steelers do well on offense and defense. I think the Steelers are going to beat the Chiefs. The Eagles are playing really good football right now. If the Steelers can tighten up this run defense that's gotten a little leaky here as of late, if they can tighten that up, I would feel a hell of a lot better about them beating the Philadelphia Eagles. But they got to tighten that up. That's the one thing that they got to do. It's been a little leaky the last few games, but if they can tighten up the run game against Philly, they got a chance. They got a real chance to win that game. And then, the Ravens, we seem to have their number. And who knows what the Ravens will look like. The Ravens seem like they might be on the verge of falling apart. So we don't know. So we just don't know. The Steelers need to straighten that offensive line. I think the offensive line is getting its act together. Offensive line played really good last game. So I think the line's getting its act together. Now, again, that was just one game. So I don't want to act like it was, 100 games in a row that the Steelers have just dominated. It was just one game. But, I think it's okay. I think the Steelers are all right. The line's getting better. Those 2 rookies are bringing a hell of a lot to the table. So, what are my thoughts on Arthur Smith? I think Arthur Smith is fine, man. Look, did it take some time for him to figure out, he's having to deal with 2 different quarterbacks and who does what and dealing with offensive line injuries and who can do what? It took him a little bit of time to figure that out. But as long as when Arthur Smith calls an aggressive game, the Steelers are better. So as long as he stays aggressive, I'm fine with him. I'm fine with him. Look, the offensive coordinator on every football team is the most hated person, that there is. Always wanting to replace him. But if the Steelers stayed patient, like I said, nobody, well, there was, obviously there's going to be some crazy people out there, but nobody should have been complaining about Arthur Smith last game. Like, what did he do last game that was bad? I mean, they had 520 yards of total offense, and yet I still had people in the comments talking about Arthur Smith tried to give the game away. What are you talking about, man? What? I mean, he was fine. So, is Faetanu coming back? I would doubt it. I would doubt that he comes back this year. Even if he comes back healthy, I would just doubt that he comes back. I would doubt that they put him in that situation. But you never know. I mean, it's the National Football League, man, and when you're healthy, you're healthy. And if he can come back and he can be healthy and play in a football game, then I would say, yeah, get him out there. I mean, you heard what Mike Tomlin said before he got hurt. I mean, he was clearly better than Broderick Jones. And he was like, he's killing people out here. So if we can get him back and he's healthy, and when I mean healthy, I mean 100%. There's no reason to put Troy Faetanu out there at 75% at this point in the year. There's no reason for that. But if he can come back and he's 100% healthy and he can go out there and help us, then by all means, yeah. So, are we going to have more pass? I mean, I don't know. I would think that the Steelers probably would be a little bit more pass heavy, but you got to protect. You got to protect. But I think it should be probably a balance against the Browns. So fans in Steeler Nation can be toxic. Yeah. Yeah. Craziness, man. So, craziness. Yeah, the Steelers can take care of their division games. We got 3 left. We got the Browns, the Ravens again, and then the Bengals. And who knows what the Bengals will look like? Isn't that that's the last game of the year? Who knows what they'll even look like at that point in time? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they may have given up. No, I'm not giving up on Broderick Jones. I'm not giving up on him. That's why when y'all look at my all 22s, that's why I'm so hard on him, because when he does it right, he's the most talented offensive lineman the Steelers have. He just is. When he does it right, he is incredible. But we got to get him to doing it right more times than not. So, feel like we can grab the number 1 seed? I mean, we're going to need some help. We're going to need some help. I mean, that's why giving away games to the Cowboys and the Browns suck, because, hell, if not, the Steelers will be right there to get the number 1 seed. That's why I hated giving away games to those bum teams. I mean, the Cowboys stink. The Browns stink. And we had the lead with 5 minutes to go in both of those football games, and we gave the game away. So our defense gave the game away. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. So, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see. Dylan, my man, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say this again, man. I don't care about next year right now, bro. We got 5 games to go in the season. I am not thinking about free agency at all. Not even a little bit. Like, I don't care. First of all, we don't even know who's going to be a free agent. We don't know any of that stuff yet. I mean, let me just ask you, Dylan, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be anything like that. Why are you so worried about next year right now? Like, why is that such a big deal, worrying about free agency and all that stuff right now? It's like, we got 5 games to go. We can get into the playoffs, win playoff game, get into the Super Bowl. Shouldn't we worry about that? And I'm just asking. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just asking. So, yeah, Pickens got to grow up, man. Pickens has got to grow up. So, He's got to stop with the stupid penalties, and they are stupid penalties. There's no reason to be worried about any of that right now. We shouldn't have to worry about that kind of dumb stuff from him. At some point, you got to grow up. So, should we sign a current free agent? Like, who's out there that the Steelers should sign? Like, why would we go and look for a free agent right now? Like, who's out there? There's nobody out there. I mean, there's 5 games left in the season. What do we need to go sign? I mean, you could say, well, you need a receiver. Well, who's out there that's any good? You know, we're fine. We're fine. Our team is set. There you go. If anybody was good enough to be on the 53-man roster at this point in the season, they'd be out there. And they're not out there. So, we shouldn't pick up Emmanuel Forbes. No. First of all, is Emmanuel Forbes better than anybody that we got on our team? The answer to that would be no. 2, Washington gave up on this kid. He got drafted last year as I think the 17th pick. And they just said, nope. They didn't try to trade him. They just cut him. So if a team is willing to give up on a guy after 18 months that was the 17th pick in the draft, why would the Pittsburgh Steelers want? And I'm not saying you're saying we should. I'm just saying they gave up on him. There's no reason for us to go get him. And again, I don't think he's better than anybody we got. So, and you'd have to pay his salary. I think if he doesn't clear waivers, you're going to have to pay him. I'm like, no. There's somebody else that's way more desperate than the Steelers that would pick him up. We have guys. I love the sentiment, though, but no, they can keep him. Is this the Russell Wilson we remember seeing that in Seattle that won the Super Bowl? I mean, I'll be honest, when Seattle won the Super Bowl, Russ wasn't that good. I mean, they ran the ball, played ball control offense, had a great defense. Russ wasn't out there throwing for 3,000 yards, 4,000 yards during that time, so no. Do I think Russ will be able to fulfill his plan of playing 5 to 6 more years? I mean, I don't know. I know when you're 35, 36 years old, I know it doesn't become easier to get ready for another season. So he may have that plan, and maybe that's what he wants to do. But look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was saying the same thing. 4 or 5 years. I want to play 4 or 5 more years. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Last year, he got hurt 4 plays in. This year, he absolutely stinks. So that's all I'm saying is that when you fall off a cliff, you fall right off the cliff. So that might be the plan, but the plan don't always work out that way, man. I love that analogy. Everybody wants to be Brady. Yeah, man, everybody's not him. So you might be late. You may have discussed this. Do you Hard Knocks view Coach T? I mean, Hard Knocks didn't do anything for me. I'm going to talk about that tonight on the podcast. Make sure you all show up for the podcast tonight. So I'm going to talk about it, but I don't know. I'm a little indifferent on Hard Knocks, but I'll keep it from that. I'm not going to lie, Big B. On that Corey Trice take from last night, how can you come to that conclusion? We've literally only seen 2 games of him. Because you've seen training camp. You see his technique. You see him in the games. Not to mention, you just watch his tape from college. That's what I'm saying. Based on what I saw, now again, college is college, so I'm not trying to compare that to the pros, so I don't want you to say, oh, you're trying to compare. No, I'm not. I'm just watching technique. And several scouts, including a head scout of a professional football team that I am friends with, literally said that he was the best corner in the draft last year, but you can't give him that grade because of his injury history. Now that's coming from the director of college scouting for a National Football League team. Told me that on the phone. So I'll take his word for it. And not that he's the genius of all geniuses. I'm not saying that. But I'm willing to take his word for it. And based on what we've seen, I think Trice is the best corner we got when he's healthy. He's big. He's long. He's athletic. His technique is really, really good. Just can't stay healthy. That's all. Just can't stay healthy. But I get what you're saying. So he just got to stay healthy. What's going on, Joe? Yeah, we beat up on Cincy. Should have beat him by more. Should have beat him by more. Is Keanu Benton our next Casey Hampton? No, he's not. I think Keanu Benton's out of position. I think Keanu Benton needs to be, in our 3-4 defense, he needs to be a defensive end. He's only 295 pounds. He's not big enough. Casey Hampton was like 5'10", 335, 340. You know, they're not the same body type. They don't do the same things. I think Keanu Benton is doing the best job that he can, but I don't think he's in the right position. So, is anybody doubting Russ's age? I don't think anybody's doubting Russ's age. I think what people are doubting that he's going to play 4 or 5 more years. That's what they are doubting. I don't think they're doubting his age, like current age. So, Winston's dropping 40 on us? Okay. But if he drops 40 on us, you know he's going to give us 20. So, and then if our offense scores anything, we win the game. Don't y'all love when the trolls show up? And here's the thing about JPJ. We've seen him stick to some of the best receivers in the league. But let me say about this about JPJ. Sophomore slumps are real. And he played better last year than he has this year. And I think every Steeler fan that's being honest will tell you that. Does he have an opportunity to turn it around? He absolutely does. But he played better last year when he finally got in than he played this year. So it's time to turn it around. It's time to turn it around. Cleveland can't run the ball. No, they can't. They can't run the football. So he beat you. He already threw. Now, actually, Jameis Winston threw for 668 yards. He didn't throw for 500 yards. He threw for 668 yards. Only 171 of those were for the other team and 2 touchdowns. So factor that in. He threw for 668 yards and 6 touchdowns. So he did that. Only 2 of the touchdowns were for the other team, and 171 of those yards were for the other team. With Pickens being our number 1, who would you say is your option, is the closest number 2? Pat Freiermuth, without question. Without question. Most of those INTs were because the defense was struggling. I don't even know what that means. He threw 2 interceptions in the end zone. What are you talking about? I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. The interceptions were because his team was struggling. So because your defense is struggling means, you know what? I'm going to throw interceptions. What? I mean, it's amazing sometimes some of the things that people just will just say. Hey, man, because our defense is bad, I got to force the ball places that I normally wouldn't, so it's okay if I throw interceptions. That is not what that means. Just because your defense is bad Doesn't mean that you have to force the football anywhere and throw interceptions and take chances. It doesn't mean that. Cleveland is irrelevant. Yeah, they are. Yeah, Cleveland is irrelevant. Is Freiermuth a top 5 tight end in the league? No. No. Not close either. Not close. That's not a knock. He's just not. I thought YouTube was the place for adults. I thought TikTok was the place for trolls. I guess I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. But it's all good. This year, the offense this year compared to last year is insane. I mean, just some of the play calling, some of the imagination of what the Steelers do this year versus last year, the personnel groups, totally different. It's a totally different deal. Not even close to the same. It's not even close to the same, man. So, it's a totally different deal. He said, being a troll and being a specific age are not mutually exclusive. You are a prime example. You're soft, even understand basic football concepts. So what basic football concepts do I not understand? And how does that make me a troll? It's weird that I'm the troll, but you're in here watching me. Talking to me, telling me what I am. Steelers will rebound against the Browns. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. No, they don't bother me, man. Clowns are clowns. It's all good. Somebody read online what basic football concepts. They saw that online, so they decided to come in here and say the same thing. Basic football concepts. I haven't even talked about football in here. I haven't even talked about the game, so how could I be obnoxious? I haven't said anything about any concept of football at all, other than you saying something stupid about Jameis Winston forcing a football somewhere and thought that because he had to force the football because his defense was playing bad, that makes it okay to throw interceptions. Other than that, we're not even talking about football concepts in here. And if you're bored, get out of your mother's basement. There's things to do outside. Go rake the leaves or something. And I wouldn't be worried about Cleveland coaches dropping the F-bomb. Mike Tomlin does the same thing, man. That's just football talk. That's just how football coaches talk. Don't get bent out of shape about that. That's literally their normal, in their normal vocabulary. It's just in their normal vocabulary. So I wouldn't get too bent out of shape about that. It's not that big a deal. Mike Tomlin does the same stuff. Mike Tomlin does the exact same stuff. So, yeah. That's just how football coaches talk. I would ask this though: is like, are the Browns? Is the Browns? Are they like? Do they consider us their biggest rival? Like, are they considered to be their biggest rival? Because I know that Steeler fans don't consider them a rival really at all. So, I'm just curious. Now, I don't think the Browns are going to look for a new head coach next year. And the reason that I say that is because as bad as the Browns are, it's not really his fault. Now, they might blame him and fire him, but that would be the Browns being the Browns. But it's not really his fault on why the Browns are as bad. You paid a quarterback that has no intention of playing quarterback anymore. He doesn't even care. And that's who your quarterback is. And they can't even get rid of him next year. They got to, otherwise it's like an $80 million cap hit to get rid of Deshaun Watson next year. So he's got to be on their roster next year. Or you take an $80 million cap hit, which Cleveland can't do. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So I don't think that's Stefanski's fault because he didn't sign him to that contract. He didn't make that decision, you know. So I don't think that's the case. But we'll see. What can Cleveland do right? Absolutely nothing, yeah? So, yeah. Like I said, I don't think it's the head coach's fault. I mean, I think he's actually a good coach, to be honest with you. I don't think they should fire him because he didn't do anything. Like I said, they're hamstrung. Their offensive line used to be good. It's starting to fall apart. Their defense is good. But until they fix their quarterback issue, which they literally can't. I mean, wouldn't it be weird, though? Because let's just say Jameis Winston comes back next year. How is Jameis Winston not the starter in Cleveland over Deshaun Watson? And Deshaun Watson will be healthy. I mean, he'll be healthy next year. How is he not the starter? Making $3 million compared to this guy that's making 80. Jesus. Oh, man. And Deshaun, and let's not kid ourselves. Deshaun Watson can't play football anymore. He cannot play football anymore. He's not any good anymore. I actually believe that Jameis Winston is better than him. I believe that. I believe it. I believe it. So, and you're right. Winston may say, you know what? I don't need to be in Cleveland. I'm going to go get me a job somewhere else. But we've been saying that about Jameis the last couple of years, and it hadn't happened. So, he might as well stay there. I mean, he can be the starter. He's better. He's better. So, send Myles Garrett to the Bird. I mean, yeah. I would talk about rivals on the podcast today, too. It's crazy. It's weird that Cleveland, they consider us their rival, and we don't even think twice about them. It's just weird to me. So, I don't know. They've never been good. I mean, there's a lot of people, for instance, the Browns trolls that were in here earlier, like, they probably haven't even been alive where the Browns have been good. I mean, think about that for a second. You haven't been alive when your team was good. Now, if you want to count last year as the Browns team being good, okay, I'll give you that. So let's call it 2 years, even the year they beat the Steelers in the playoffs. Okay, 2 years that you've been alive, that your team's even been good, not average, because when Cleveland doesn't make the playoffs, they absolutely suck. So 2 years that they've been good when you've been alive. That's it. That's all you got. That's depressing. So I don't feel bad, man. Actually, I do kind of feel bad. So, but it is what it is. Yeah, Big Ben dominated them. Gee, many Christmas. Just dominated them. Even in Big Ben's worst years, he's beaten Cleveland. So, that has to suck, though. Think about this, Steeler fans. Being a Browns fan and to know that your team is awful and can't get better. Just to know it. And there's nothing you can do about it. They're just bad. They're going to lose. And there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, that has got to be an awful feeling. That has got to be an awful feeling to know how bad your franchise is. I mean, there's 27-year-olds, there's 35-year-olds out there that have seen their team be good twice. So, it's crazy. Lamee Jackson, which I think you meant to say Lamar Jackson, is 1-4 against the Steelers. So I don't think he's the Steelers' daddy. But that's just me. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe they are, though. Maybe they are. Maybe that's what classifies it. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, I'll give that to you. But Lamar Jackson, yeah, you can't be 1-4 against us and saying that you're our daddy. I don't think it works that way, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. He said, Lamar is our son. Maybe. Maybe. And Lamar's record in the playoffs isn't very good either. Before we go off on that tangent, talking about he's not allergic to winning wild card games. Yeah, well, I mean, what's his wild card or his playoff record? 2-4? Oh. Okay. I get it, man. It's tough being a Browns fan. I understand. I totally get it. I totally get it. So, totally get it. But yeah, Steelers, it's got to be a must-win game. Can't take yourself seriously as a team if you get swept by the Browns. You just can't take yourself seriously. So, and neither should anybody else. I mean, so this is a must-win game. You can't be taken seriously if you can't beat the Browns. So, can't take yourself seriously. Prediction for the regular season? You know, at the beginning of the year, I said the Steelers were going to go 11-6. I'm not going to back off of that. I think 11-6 is still there. Look, there's still some tough games left. I mean, Cincinnati again, that's at the end of the year. The Ravens, the Chiefs, the Eagles. I mean, we got a tough slate. I mean, there's no doubt about it, man. It's tough. It's tough. So, but if we can get, 5 games left, that would mean we're going to go 2-3. But I actually think the Steelers are going to go 3-2 to end the year. So I think winning 12 games is on the table. So, (11-6), I like it. But where we are, I still think the Steelers are going to go 3-2 down the stretch. And if they do, that'll get us 12 wins. So I'll make that change. So, but we'll see. It all starts this weekend, though. I mean, we can't have a Mike Tomlin special and lose to the Cleveland Browns. We can't. If we do, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So we can't have a Tomlin special and lose to the Browns. Just can't. Just can't. So. Somebody mugged GP out back? Damn. The Browns have our number? Oh. Okay. Since when? Like since when have the Browns had our number? Or are you just saying that to be stupid? Because they did beat us this year, but out of the last 55 games, the Steelers won 48 of those. So, that's right. Out of the last 55 games that the Steelers played the Browns, the Steelers won 46 of those. So, out of 55, they won 46, but they have our number. Oh. Okay. I guess, man. I guess. If that's what it means. Do you realize how stupid of a statement that is? That's why they have your number. If you have such a legacy of winning, how did they manage to lose? So 55 games, because they won 9 of those, they have our number? I mean, I know you're being a troll, but at some point, stupidity has to come into play. I mean, that doesn't even make sense at this point. They got your number. If you have such a legacy of winning, how did they win? What? And I'm willing to listen, man. If it makes sense, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to play along because I get it. But come on, man. You got to come up with something better than that. At least make it believable. And if it's believable, I would like the dude that's saying Winston, the governor of Pittsburgh. Now, that's funny. That stuff is funny. You know, I get that. That's funny. But to say they had, and you're being serious, and don't lie and say you're not being serious because you are. You're trying to be funny and clever, but you're saying that's why they have your number? How would they ever manage to lose? What? At least say something like, oh, the Steelers can't win. They can't beat the Browns. They're not tough enough to beat the Browns. At least say something like that. Then, okay. Then I could live with it. But Lord. Oh, well. All right, man. I had enough for today. I'll be back. Got the podcast coming on later. Make sure you guys check it out. It'll be out later today. We're going to tape it here in a little bit. So I appreciate y'all. Thank everybody for coming in. Even the Cleveland fans, man. Y'all are a good time, man. It's all love. It's all love. So I appreciate it. Talk to you guys soon. I will holler at you.